So as we said, this is going to be like a little test and go through the answers. So here it's positive 24 divided by negative 30. Positive divided by negative gives you negative. So it's negative 8. And here you have a minus and negative. We said when you have minus and negative, it just becomes plus 5. So what we did first, we did this here. Division before addition and subtraction. So we got negative 8 when we divided 240 by negative 30. And then these two negatives became positive. So we just did that here now. Negative 8 plus 5 is negative 3. Now, how about this? This is 19 minus 28. That's negative 9. Negative 9 divided by negative 3. So if I'm writing this in steps, I'm just going to write the answer here. Negative 9 over negative 3. Hold on a second. Let me just write it a little bit better. So we have a fraction form. We have 19 minus 28 is negative 9 over negative 3. Minus, we have negative 11 plus 27. That's 16 over 4. And then we have 6 minus 32, which is negative 26. It's plus, sorry, that's plus here. 6 minus 32 is negative 26 over negative 2. Now you do the operation here. This is division. We said fractions means division. Negative 9 divided by negative 3. Negative divided by negative is positive. So you get 3. And you have your minus sign here. 16 divided by 4 is 4. And you have your plus sign here. And you have negative divided by negative is positive. 26 divided by 2 is 13. Now 3 minus 4 is negative 1. Negative 1 plus 13 is 12. So the answer there should be in 12. Okay. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to start erasing these, and I'm going to take each question if I don't have enough space and make sure we have enough room to do it. So I'm just going to erase this right here. And I'm going to take the negative 7 over 10 divided by 2 over negative 5. I said fractions we cannot divide. We always have to change the division to multiplication. So as I said, keep the first negative 7 over 10. Switch the division to multiplication. Flip 2 over negative 5 to negative 5 over 2. Now when multiplying fractions, don't just multiply the tops and the bottoms. Always try to reduce. Look diagonally and see if you could reduce. Now, definitely I could. First of all, the answer here is going to be positive because it's negative times negative, so it's positive. 5 goes into itself once. It goes into 10 twice. Cannot reduce any further. 7 and 2, I cannot reduce them. So now I multiply. 7 into 1, I get 7. And 2 into 2, I get 4. And we're just going to leave it as improper fraction. Now, how about number 4? Number 4, what you do, you keep the negative 21 over 16. You switch division to multiplication. And you get 8 over negative 7. And you have times 3 over negative 4. Now, as I mentioned in my previous class, if you're multiplying fractions like this, count how many negatives you have in the multiplication. You have 3 negatives. If you have an odd number of negatives that you're multiplying, your answer should be always negative. So 3 negatives, that means we have an odd number of negatives. The answer should be negative. Now I could just ignore the signs so they're not bothering me there. I reduce 7 goes into itself once. It goes into 21 3 times. 8 goes into itself once. It goes into 16 twice. Can I reduce anything anymore? 3 and 4, I can. 3 and 2 here, I can. So that's as far as I could do with reducing. So now I just multiply the top. 3 times 1 times 3 gives me 9. So the answer, I'm just going to put my equal sign here. So negative 9 over 2 times 4 on the bottom is 8. Okay. So now I'm going to do the next one. And I'm just going to put it right here. So you have to do what's inside the brackets first. So what we have here, we have to do common denominator between these two. The lowest common denominator is 8. So, which means you multiply the 2 by 4 and you multiply the 1 by 4. And then have -5 here. You don't have to change that since it has an 8 already underneath. But this here becomes 8, which is that. And then 1 times 4 is 4. So it becomes -4 times the lowest common denominator in that between the 9 and the 3 is the 9. So you don't do anything to the 7 because it already has a 9 underneath. But this you multiply it by 3 to make it 9. And whatever you do to the bottom, you do to the top. So that becomes 7 minus 6, which gives me -5 minus 4 is -9 over 8 times 7 minus 6, which is 1 over 9. The answer is going to be negative. The 9s will cancel each other out. You get 1, 1, and now you multiply the tops, you get 1. You multiply the 8 and the 1 on the bottom, you get 8. And that's the answer for this one. So now we finished with 1 to 5 altogether. Okay. With 6 here, they say evaluate 3 over 4x minus 5 for x equals -12. That means you sub in -12 for the x, and the relationship between the 3/4 and the x, it's multiplication. So therefore you go 3/4. If you put brackets, so that means it's multiplied into -12 minus 5. I said when you multiply a whole number into a fraction, always try to reduce the bottom of the fraction with the whole number. So 4 goes into itself once, it goes into 12 3 times, or that's -3 if you want to put that -3 on top there. So now what we have left here, 1 on the bottom, which is doesn't matter, but we have 3 times -3, which is -9, and we still have the -5, and that gives us -14, and that's your answer here. How about here? We have -7 over 8. And the a is 4 over 3, so I'm just going to put that right here. Minus 5 over 3, and the b is -2 over 5, so I'm just going to put that here inside the brackets, which indicates it's multiplied. Plus 1/2 times a, which is 4 over 3, plus 2/3 times -2 over 5, which is what the b is. Okay, so that is basically, yeah. Now here I could reduce because I have to do this multiplication first. So 4 goes into itself once, it goes into 8 twice. So here I have -7 over 1. Sorry, -7 times 1, which is -7, and 2 times 3, which is 6. So I have -7 over 6 minus the 5s will cancel out here. And minus here is going to become plus. There's a 1 here, there's a 1 there. So 1 times 2 here is going to be 2. 3 times 1 is 3. So we have 3 there. Plus, here we could reduce the 2 goes into itself once, it goes into 4 twice. So plus 2 over 3, because that's 1 times 2 is 2, and 1 times 3 is 3. And here we cannot reduce anywhere. So we have a plus here and I have a minus here that gonna be make this minus. I'm just gonna put the 1 right here so it's not in the way. Now that is 4 over 15. Yeah. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take this to the top here and finish it up here. So what we have -7 over 6 plus 2 over 3 plus 2 over 3 again minus 4 over 15. We have to do the lowest common denominator. The lowest common denominator, you go to the number that's the highest on the bottom. 3 goes into 15, but 6 doesn't, so we cannot have 15 as the lowest common denominator. So my lowest common denominator here is going to be the next multiple of 15, see if that works. So the next multiple of 15 is 30. Because 6 and 3, they go into 30, then this is my lowest common denominator. What I do, I always go 30 divided by 6, I get 5. 5 is what I multiply to the top. 5 times -7 is -35. And then we have the plus sign, I write that there. When I go 30 divided by 3, it gives me 10. I multiply the 10 to the 2, I get 20. And I have my plus sign, which is that. I go 30 divided by 3 is 10, and I multiply that to the top. 10 times 2 is 20. And 30 divided by 5 is 2, so 2 was what I multiply to the top. I get 8, and don't forget that -8 right here. -35, I'm ahead of myself. -35 plus 20 is -15. -15 plus 20 is 5. 5 minus 8 is -3. So I get -3 over 30. Don't think you're gonna stop right here. You gotta reduce this. Yeah. So -3 goes into the top once, it goes into 30 10 times. So I have -1 over 10. And that's your answer for that one. Now, how about here? Here we just underline like terms. So the 12m, the 7m, and the 8m. And then I underline the n's differently. 12m minus 7m gives me 5m. 5m minus 8m is -3m. Now I go to the n's. -4n minus 9n gives me -13n. -13n plus 6n give me plus 7n. Hold on a second. -4m, that's -13. Sorry, that's a -7n. My apology. Because it's -4 minus 9 is -13. -13 plus 6 is -7n. How about here? Here I have to write the 3a again, and I have to distribute that into here and into there. So -2 times 5a is -10a. -2 times +4b is -8b minus 3b. These are like terms. These are like terms. So 3a minus 10b is -7. Sorry, 3a minus 10a is -7a. And -8b minus 3b is -11b. How about this one right here? This one is, we distribute the 2 into here, there, and there. So we're going to get 10x minus 6y. And 2 times -3 is -6. And then I distribute this into here as well. So 6 times x is plus 6x. 6 times 3y is plus 18y. 6 times 2 is plus 12. And then we have a negative in front of the whole brackets. That's sign changer. So that becomes 93x plus y minus 2. That's what I mean by sign changer. Every sign here changes. Now collecting like terms, this, and this. The y's right here. And then the -6 plus 12 and -2, they have like terms. And I think I'm just gonna write my answer right here. So 10x plus 6x is 16x. 16x minus 3x is 13x. -6y plus 18y, that's 12y. 12y minus 12y plus 1y here is plus 13y. And -6 plus 12 is +6. 6 minus 2 is 4 plus 4. And that is our final answer. And that's the end of the session today. So this part of the video I recorded, so I'll send it to you so you could watch it. And I will see you next week, guys. Thank you for
Thank you.
today. Yeah.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Assalamualaikum.
Walaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.